How many people have heard of kombucha? You have? You have? Okay. Kombucha, for those of you that don't know, is a fermented drink. It's originated in China, and it's known as the elixir of life. It's loaded with probiotics, vitamins, and minerals. It is a carbonated drink that gets sour as you ferment it. The thing about kombucha is there's a bacteria that's put into it, and it's called SCOBY. And it's a nasty little slimy little disc that they put in there, and it just sours as it sits. So kombucha is an acquired taste, so if you do drink it, make sure that you understand that you have to drink it after a while. It's kind of like beer in that way, is that it's a very acquired thing, but it is very good for you. It's very good for your gut flora. It keeps it doesn't replenish gut flora, but it just repairs your gut flora, which helps break down your food. A lot of our gut flora is bad now because of all the processed foods that we eat and everything like that. So it's definitely good for you. I started drinking kombucha about 2 years ago. I just picked it up in a grocery store and I loved it. Problem with it is very expensive sometimes. It can be anywhere from $3 to $4 for a little 12-ounce jar like that. So I started to look into making it myself and found out that it is very easy to make. It cost me about $50 for a kit, and all it really takes is patience. The overview of it is you take this guy here, which is the SCOBY, this thing here, okay? And you ferment it with black tea and sugar. And the black tea and the sugar have to be organic. If you put any other kind of black tea or sugar, it won't work. It'll kill the SCOBY. The SCOBY feeds off sugar and anything else that goes into it, but it only can live off sugar. So you have to use organic cane sugar with it. The other materials and ingredients are, you need a brew jar, that's glass, because again, if you use plastic, the SCOBY will start eating at the plastic. This is for a second fermentation. These bottles here, they got little pressure caps on them to kind of keep the air on them. And then you'll have a cheesecloth, and that just goes over the top of the jar. I'll get into more of that later. And then this is just water here. This is 8 cups of water here. So, okay, so the procedure is, I've already mixed the sugar and the black tea, so that's all dissolved and everything like that because I couldn't really brew the tea here. So just take the cap off. Pour it in there. And you'll kind of notice how much darker this tea is than this tea here, and that's from the fermentation process. This has already been going for about 11 days here, so this is a little different. And then you add your water. Okay. And one of the things you'll notice about this, what's nice about this kit is that it's got like a little sticker that's a thermometer on the side, but you need a thermometer to check the temperature of it before you throw your SCOBY in there. Because what happens is if it's below 68 degrees, it won't ferment as quickly until it gets up to 68 degrees. If it's above 86 degrees, it'll kill the SCOBY. The SCOBY is very fickle, and it really needs to be really taken care of, you know, pretty easily and everything. But so right now it's at 62 degrees. I don't know if you can see that. So it's okay to add it right now because it'll warm up later. But all you do is you add the SCOBY like that, and then you want to have some reserve plain kombucha from your last brew, or you have to buy it, because that'll start the process a little bit more, and it puts a little acidity into it because the drink is acidic. Some places will tell you to add vinegar. You can't do that because if you do add vinegar, it'll eventually turn into vinegar. So don't add vinegar to it, no matter what anybody tells you. Don't clean your thing with vinegar or anything like that. So after that's done, the SCOBY needs to breathe. And the tea needs to breathe, so you can't cover it with a cap. You have to cover it with a cheesecloth and then a rubber band. Is it? Okay. Sorry.
Nope.
Oh, there it is. Sorry. So you just put it like that. Let that sit for 7 days. You can test it. You can let it sit longer. It can actually sit up to 6 months. It's just a matter of how sour you like it. During that process, it'll carbonate just a little bit, but it won't carbonate too much. If you want carbonation, you have to buy bottles like this with a pressure cap. You can actually see how a SCOBY's starting to form in there too. I don't know if you can see that, but you have to pressurize it and let it sit for about 5 or 6 days. But the thing is about this is you have to burp these, because if you don't, it'll blow the top off of them because there's gas that's building up in them. So I'm going to do that, and I haven't burped these for a couple days, so you'll see it. So you can kind of hear a burp, but you can kind of see the bubbles coming to the top like a soda, and that means it's starting to get carbonated. And the same thing, see that one's a little bit better. There we go, that's better. All that stuff in there is just the SCOBY, and it's like apple cider vinegar, how it gets that little webbiness underneath. That's all that is. That's just from the fermentation process. In closing, I really like kombucha. I started to like it 2 years ago, fell in love with it right away, wanted a cheap, easy way to do it myself. It's good for you. It looks gross, the SCOBY does, but it's pretty good. It's a good alternative to soda. So, thank you, and any questions?